Okay, well, good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm doing good. How are you, Shantha?
Yes, I'm doing pretty well as well. So,
Great.
how's your day started off? Is it on a good note? Have you been busy?
Yeah, my day started. I was pretty busy because morning time is like I have to send my son to school, then, so all of those morning routine. And then I was getting prepared for our talk.
Okay. So, we'll just
Yeah.
start off with introduction.
Yeah. Yeah. Hi, my name is Shruti Anjaria. I'm a certified life coach. I specialize in communication and confidence. Going back to my studies after 10th standard is from Bangalore. So I have stayed in Bangalore for like pretty much 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Then got married, and since then I have been living in many cities. I have diversified experience in corporate sectors. But then later, when we moved into Pune, I thought now I'm gonna, follow my passion and help people communicate in English freely and confidently.
That's amazing to know about you. You're also a
Yes,
life coach. So, how is your
yes, I'm
experience?
also a life coach. It's good. It's good. I am, I get to speak with my clients. I get to know a lot of things about them. So yeah, it's been good. I'm loving it.
That's
And
nice.
I'm helping everyone speak, communicate freely, confidently, without any hesitation, without struggles. So yeah,
So, how
pretty much
many
enjoy
years of experience do you have roughly?
being a life coach.
More of English speaking and communication coach.
English speaking, and I started following my passion since 2022.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That's
And
amazing.
yeah, so since 2022, I have been guiding all my clients speak freely.
So, do you work as a freelancer or do you work for some organization?
I have worked for organizations. I do freelancing, and now currently I've started with my own online class.
Hmm. So, I think life coaching is something new, right? It is a new, stream of the new generation. Like recently, it has come into being.
Life, yeah,
Mhm.
go on, go on.
Yeah. So, how do you describe the job profile? So, is it rewarding? Are you happy in your career?
Definitely, it's rewarding. So life coaching is like a mainstream, and under that, there are too many things. There is, the mental well-being.
Hmm.
There is lifestyle. There is communication, and a lot many things. So I
Hmm.
have chose to specialize in communication and confidence.
Oh, okay. Is it?
Uh,
Oh, I had no idea about that. Okay.
so life coaching has got many, 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 branches as such.
Okay. So was it your desire to start coaching people for English and communication skills, or you chose it like by accident it happened?
No, this is my passion. I like people. I like to help people. I like to help them overcome with their, hesitation, their struggles, their, day-to-day overcomings, their day-to-day, the difficulties, whatever they come across in terms of communication. Because English nowadays is, it has become a corporate language.
Yes.
And wherever you go, English is like, it is important, it is needed.
Yes, and if somebody wants to learn from you, you also work as a freelancer, right? So how should people
Yes.
reach out to you? Do you have any social media handle?
Yes, I have a social media handle. I do have I am there on Instagram, I'm there on LinkedIn. I have my Google business page as well. So yeah, they can connect with me.
Okay, that's amazing. So, today I have jotted down a few points, mostly related to fluency and how people can become fluent in English. So, I also heard about your unique 5 C's method to fluency. So, we would love to
Right.
discuss that in the session today. So, I'll just go ahead with the first question. So, what does fluency really mean to you? So, is it speed, accuracy, confidence, or something else? Or is it a mix of everything?
Fluency definitely is a mix of everything. Your pace, your accuracy, the grammar. Yeah, fluency is how well you express your thoughts and ideas freely, comfortably, and confidently. That is fluency according to me.
Okay. So without getting stuck, without having to struggle a lot to align your
Yes,
thoughts.
right. Yeah, without struggling, without thinking a lot about it, it is just the continuous flow of thoughts.
Yes. And for that, I think your brain and mouth should work in coordination, right? Your thoughts should be generated and it should go on in a flow.
True, true. That needs practice, obviously.
It does, of course. Okay, so now we'll come to the five C's. You mentioned the five C's for fluency. What are those five C's? And it is something that you have come up with, right? So, how did you come up with them? What's the backstory of it?
Okay, so while I was working with the corporate, I saw that I noticed that many people, they knew English, but they struggled. They hesitated to speak. They were, they had a doubt whether they should speak or not. With of a kind of hesitation where they feared being misjudged and misinterpreted. So that is when I thought of this five C's. So speaking about them, the first C is clarity. So you
Mm-hmm.
need to have a clarity about whatever you speak in terms of your thoughts. Even when you speak, you need to have a clear pronunciation. Yes. And yes, your sentence structure. You
Hmm.
need to be clear with your sentence structure because, see, the regional language, the sentence structure is in a different format, and English has a different format of sentence structure. So
Hmm.
you need to be very clear. You also need to know that you are speaking in English, so you have to form the sentence according to the English definition of
True.
sentence formation, right? So clarity is very much important.
Mm.
The second is the content.
Content.
So when we talk about content, so content is the information,
Right.
what you want to speak, what you want to share, what you want to share with your people, what you want to let the world know about that particular topic.
Hmm.
Then the third C, I would say, is comfortable.
Mhm.
Comfortable you are with the language. If you're not comfortable with the language, you cannot speak the language. So
That's
you
right.
need to be comfortable with the language. You need to be comfortable with the environment around. Also, you need to be comfortable with the person you are speaking with.
Hmm.
Yes, because see, many a times we have seen that our parents, our
Hmm.
siblings, our spouse, whatever, whichever language we are comfortable with them to speak, that language will be able to speak with them
Yes.
fluently and without hesitation. But if we have not spoke with them in English, it becomes very difficult to speak in English with them,
Right.
right?
Hmm.
So, yeah, so comfort is the third C. Then the fourth C is communication. So, when I speak about communication, communication means what or which mode of communication do you adapt, or which mode of communication you select. It can be a verbal communication, it can be a written communication. Now, your body language, it also communicates a lot. Yeah. Your
Hmm.
eye contact. When you speak with anyone, if you do not eye contact with that person, it shows that you're not interested in whatever he or she is speaking, right? So, yeah, the fourth C is the communication. How do you communicate with the person?
Hmm.
And the final C is confidence. So when you have worked on all the four C's, confidence is, confidence builds automatically. It comes to you naturally.
Hmm.
So yeah, these are the five C's that I have thought of and I have come up with.
That's amazing. I think you've included everything: comfort, clarity, confidence, communication. Wow, that's amazing. So, which of the five
Thank you.
C's do learners usually struggle with the most, and why do you think so?
Oh, all the five C's are interconnected.
Uh-huh.
But according to my experience, what I have observed is many people, they struggle with clarity.
Oh.
They have lots of things in their mind. They have lots of things to share. There is, lot of things they want to speak, but they are confused about how to express them, how to, frame it in a sentence. So Yeah, according to me, people struggle with clarity.
Yes, and as you told, they are interrelated. People
They
struggle
are
because
actually,
they are low on confidence. That
they
is
are
why
low
they
on
are not
confidence.
able to frame these
Yeah,
sentences and speak clearly. They are not
clear.
comfortable, they are not confident, and they even lack communication skills. So it shows they are related.
They do have content, but then again, they are not comfortable with maybe the environment, maybe the person they are talking to.
Hmm.
So, yeah, everything is interrelated.
Yes, and I think mostly people have the clarity about content. Like they know, but they are not able to express it clearly.
Yeah, they do not know how to frame it in a sentence.
That's true. Okay. So, how is fluency different from speaking fast? And do you think many learners misunderstand this? Because many people think if I speak fast, then I'll be called fluent. Or if a person is speaking really fast, then they think, wow, they are so fluent. But some people also speak fast in order to hide their grammar mistakes, or in case they are low on confidence, even then they speak fast. So, in your experience, what do you think? Do people have this misconception?
Yes, they do have a misconception about thinking that fluency is speed. Fluency is actually not speed. I would say fluency is speaking in a pace continuously.
Hmm.
You may speak slowly, you may speak fast, but your ultimate aim whenever you communicate or whenever you speak is to make sure that the opposite person understands you. Whatever you have told them, the message has been delivered to them successfully,
Hmm.
right?
That's
So,
important.
see, yeah, that is very important. Communication is always two-way, it cannot be one way. So, there is a speaker and the other person is a listener. So if the listener doesn't understand whatever the speaker has said, then the communication is not complete.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's true.
Uh,
Yes.
yeah. And many a times, whenever we see that a person is speaking fast, that may be because his native language is English, or
Hmm.
maybe he would have spoken in English for several years. So, yes, the speed, that is the fast space, it comes with practice. It doesn't come overnight.
Hmm. But I think, when you speak fast, your language doesn't sound that very attractive. I think there should be a certain rhythm and pace when you speak.
Wait,
Only then, even the listener will be interested in listening to you because listeners
yes,
come from all different levels, right? So, in order to make
true.
your speech attractive, there has to be a certain tone, rhythm to it, and you should speak at a moderate pace.
Moderate pace. There's something called as power of pause.
Oh,
So
yeah.
if you, whenever you are speaking, when you speak with pause, it enhances your language by itself. And opposite person need not think, okay, where did he complete this sentence? Or he need not be very much attentive while listening to you.
Hmm.
All right. So yes, fluency for sure is not about the speed.
Yes.
It
And
is
when
about how continuously you speak at a pace.
Sure, sure. Yes. And when you were telling about communication skills, it is a two-way road. And you also mentioned that you have to maintain eye contact. That's for an example. If the person is not maintaining eye contact and not talking, or you get the feeling that they are not focused in the conversation, then your communication skills automatically drops down. It doesn't
Drops
become
down.
an effective communication then.
True, yes. So there we speak about the comfort level, the one of the C's from the five C's that I spoke about. So
Yeah.
even when you don't feel comfortable with the emotion of the opposite person, your energy tends to mellow down.
That's true. Yes. And we have noticed it so many times while talking to people as well. Your vibe or energy levels, they have to match. Then you feel more
Match.
comfortable and it becomes successful, the conversation.
True, true, very true. So as I said earlier, everything is yes, all the five C's they are interrelated.
Mhm. Yes. Okay. Can someone be fluent even if they make grammar mistakes? Why or why not? People focus a lot on their grammar mistakes. Would you call them fluent even if they are making a few grammar mistakes here and there?
Yeah, they are, I think they are allowed to make grammar mistakes. No one can be 100% perfect, right? Even when we speak in our regional language, we make grammar mistakes. And whenever we are speaking in a flow, I don't think so anyone notices grammar as such. No one pays attention to whether you have used the correct grammar or not. It is just that you have to sound perfect
Hmm.
and the opposite person has to understand whatever you are speaking.
Yes.
So, yes, making mistakes is allowed.
Making mistakes is allowed, and I think people overthink it. And they do not even start speaking fearing their mistakes. When I say practice,
Mistake.
then they say, what if I make a mistake? So that is not the first step that they are going to practice. The first step is, what if I make a mistake? So I think it is spoken, right? And it is something spontaneous. So how can you be perfect? Even I make mistakes while talking. So I think
Everyone makes mistakes.
the message has to go across clearly. But for that, I think at least basics of grammar, your tenses have to be clear so that your message goes across clearly. Other
Cross
things like
clearly.
prepositions and other stuff is like, okay, it adds beauty to the language, but it's not got like you're not fluent. So you don't call that. Mistakes are allowed.
Yeah, they are allowed. Definitely, mistakes are allowed.
Yes. And when people watch reels and shorts of creators who say that this is wrong, you have to tell it this way, you have to
Mhm.
understand that they are creating content and they need content to talk something about. So that is why the thing, it's not that, this is a grave mistake that you can never commit while speaking. No, it keeps happening, but
It's
it is
happening.
different.
Mistakes are inevitable. Yes, they are. We are humans. We are, made to make mistakes
Okay. How can learners practically develop each of the five C's in their daily routine?
by practice.
Everything.
Yeah. Everything they have to practice reading, they have to practice writing, speaking, listening, because see, communication is just not speaking, it is also listening. It is also understanding whatever the other person says. Yes. And
Yes.
I would always suggest my viewers, my listeners, to practice all of these things in real life scenarios.
Hmm.
Yes. So when you practice all of these things in real life scenarios, you will build your vocabulary.
True.
And along with that, you would know how to frame a sentence when such situations comes, when you are in that particular situation. So you would not get stuck, oh, now how do I form the sentence? I don't know how to form the sentence. Yeah. So practice everything in your real life scenarios.
Yes. And when it comes to the C's, writing practice, which C does it enhance?
Content.
Hmm. Content and your expression of thoughts because you have time
Oh,
while writing. Clarity
right. True.
also.
Yes.
Mm.
So when you write, you get ample of time to think what you want to write. If you're not, truly happy or satisfied with a particular word that you have written, you can always try and find out an alternate word for it.
Right.
Write with phrasal verbs. Writing will help you to write with idioms also. So using phrasal verbs, using idioms while speaking in English, it itself enhances whatever you speak, and it sounds much better.
It does. It is a gradual process, but people
Process.
usually underestimate the power of writing practice.
True, very true. So everyone, I would strongly suggest everyone to start writing rather than just reading it,
Hmm.
listening to it. First, you write it down, and then speak whatever you have written. Speak it and record it. So, when you listen to whatever you have spoken, you will know where you are making mistakes.
Right. I
And
think it would
just
take just like 15 minutes of your time to do
15
this
minutes of
practice.
writing. Yes, yes, definitely 15 minutes, 20 minutes. And you won't believe, Shanta, there is a proven study which says that if you are consistent in practicing English for like 21 days, you will become fluent over a period of time. And that would be very easy.
Hmm.
So if you practice one day and then take a one another day gap and then you practice a third day, it might take a little longer, but if you are consistent with your practice, you will become fluent very soon.
That's right. When people say that you cannot become fluent in 21 days, 30 days, so we are just talking about fluency here. It's not that you'll become 100% correct in your pronunciation or grammar or something. We are just talking about fluency.
So you need to be consistent, even if not English, if you want to learn any other language, you need to be consistent with your practice.
Sure, sure. And I think it
Then
applies
only
to
it
all
will be
walks of your life, not only learning a language,
yes,
anything that you want to do in your life, you have to be consistent.
yes.
Okay, do you think confidence comes before fluency or fluency builds confidence?
So definitely fluency builds confidence.
Okay.
Yes. So referring back to our C's that we spoke about. So when you practice all of those, all of those C's, when you have clarity, when you have good content, when you're comfortable, when your mode of communication is suitable to that particular situation, confidence builds by itself. And this leads to fluency.
So it
Yeah.
is almost like did the egg come first or the hen came first? It's like that, isn't it?
Correct. So it's like it's a blend of everything.
Yes. And see, once you're fluent and you start speaking, that will automatically start building your confidence. Nobody is
Confidence
confident in the beginning. Confidence comes after doing something.
doing something. Yeah, so there is a very good proverb which says ke, to achieve something you have to start.
Yeah, true. That's so simple, but still so deep.
I know. So if you do not start, if you do not know where are you standing, how can you achieve anything?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
And
amazing.
yeah, to add on to communication is just not the spoken English, I would say.
Hmm.
It is a blend of your personality, your mindset, your habits. So, when you put all of these things together, then only you will be able to communicate in an efficient manner.
That's true. Okay, so the last question is if a learner focuses only on vocabulary and grammar, because they are the building blocks of any language. So if they focus
Mhm.
only on vocabulary and grammar, will they become fluent? Or if not, what might be missing?
See, vocabulary and grammar are important. They will help you to form your sentence in English.
Hmm.
But you also have to practice. That is, practice reading, writing, speaking, listening again. And see, just not learning about anything will, uh, it will take you anywhere. But the practical implementation is also important. Until
Right.
you practically apply it anywhere, you'll not be able to know whether, you are doing it in a correct manner or not.
That's right.
So, yes, if you do not, practically apply it to any of the situation, you'll not be able to have good fluency. Fluency cannot be developed if you do not practice anything at all. Just reading will not help you.
Yes.
Yeah. Or
Mhm.
just sticking to one of the practice again is not going to help you. You have to do all the four things. That is reading, writing, speaking, listening.
Yes, and I think people consume more, but they produce very less. And they wonder why am I not fluent?
Not fluent, right?
Also, I was talking to a communication skills trainer, and she was saying your verbal communication, whatever your grammar, vocabulary, your speaking, your fluency, all of this is only 7% when you're talking. The rest, there's a lot about communication, and then she elaborated that and explained. So it was quite
Yes,
surprising that people struggle over only this 7% of things, and majority is
7%.
non-verbal communication.
Yes, I have been a soft skill trainer by myself for a couple of years. And yes, the 51 percentage of communication is through your body language.
Major portion.
Major portion is through your body language. That is why we say, okay, the first impression is the last impression, right? You always have to dress well. You have to dress according to the situation. Whenever someone is talking to you, please, have eye contact with that person. When you are shaking your hand, shake it firmly.
Hmm.
Your handshake also tells you how confident you are.
Yes,
Yes.
true. Hmm.
Then 37% is about the tone of your voice. How your tone
Okay.
of the voice is. Is
Okay.
it dominating? Is it very soft? Is it loud? So
Mm.
the 37% is about the tone of your voice. And it is just the 7% which is the verbal communication.
Yes, this exact same
And
thing she told me.
that is what, and imagine just for that 7%, how much we take stress, how much we, how much we overthink about why we are not able to speak. There are a lot of things that we do just for that 7%, but we hardly concentrate on that 51% and 37%.
That's right. And even in interviews, it is like within the first 7 seconds, the person takes that decision whether to hire you or no. So obviously, it is
Oh,
your non-verbal communication that occupies a major portion. And the
major
handshake as well. It's like whether you're holding them properly or you're too loose or you're too firm. There are so many things. And when it comes to your tone, you always have to be assertive, neither aggressive nor submissive. It's always you have to be assertive. So there are a lot of things.
yes, correct. For a particular topic, even which you wouldn't have thought you have it in your mind. Yes. Again, when you speak and record yourself, you would know where you are making mistakes, and self analysis helps a lot. Yeah.
Yes.
Rather than anyone telling you you are doing mistake over here, if you just speak, record yourself and listen to it, you would know where you
Mm.
are going wrong.
That's so
Is
true
it with the
because,
grammar?
yes. Yeah.
Is it with the grammar? Is it with the vocabulary? Is it with the sentence structure? Though we
Mm.
say that, yeah, you need not be 100% correct when you are speaking in English, but yes, sentence structure has to be correct.
True.
Yeah. And yeah, the last one, listening, it helps you to be a good listener,
Yes.
to understand, to interpret whatever you have listened to.
That's right. You always had this misconception that listening, speaking, and listening is going to enhance your fluency, but listening will make you a good listener. Only when you
Listener,
speak,
right.
you're going to be a good speaker. And listening, it might have, but see, when you're communicating, even listening is such an important skill. So you listen attentively, you become a good listener. And the reading part is, see, as you told, that people can correct themselves by seeing the recording. Read, write, list, and record yourself. You can see your own recording and become fluent. You don't have to pay any tutor. That is also an option because when people say, I'm practicing alone, who will give me feedback and how will I improve? How will I know that I'm making a mistake? Just do this practice. Read, write, and record yourself. Self
Yeah.
analysis, right? A trainer is going to train you for like half an hour, 1 hour a day, but the rest of the day is still on you. How you
Right.
practice, how
Yeah,
much you
you have to
practice.
take the efforts. Right. Correct. And that is why we are here.
Yes, that's true. Okay, that was lovely talking to you. I really loved the pace at which you spoke. It was very calm, composed, and relaxed. So
Thank
it
you.
was really wonderful talking to you today.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, then have a good day. Bye bye.
Yeah, thank you. Bye-bye.